Anyway, so I'm here to tell you something about my story and hope that that is interesting. I learned a great deal about banking when I was in the city. I was there for about 8 years in New York. And I realized that there are forces that are coming to banking, that are transforming banking, whether they like it or not. First, compression. Revenues are decreasing, margins are decreasing, interest rates historically low. Banks are looking for a new revenue. Mobile, it just came to us with a shock. And not only just mobile, people are doing social stuff that are just like crazy. And banks, we are not prepared to handle anything of this nature. Third, you've seen the announcements that are coming one after the other. Every single month, we got new players in the payment space. Banks are not prepared to fight with any of these guys. Finally, the biggest problem. Banking is boring. It's a silo-driven, transaction-centric, unintuitive, and it's just boring. So, that was my mission. How can I change the banking experience from boring one to joyful one? Just to give you a little story of mine, when I was in the city, I was a global product head of mobile in the institutional side of the banking. And I launched many different products, but the one thing that I actually did really well, that the industry has recognized, is an institutional mobile banking solution called City Mobile. I launched it in 2010 and quickly get all the industry awards in 2011. And then we started to see users are adopting. When I first launched it, it was 7 different countries, and every week we were adding 3 countries. So by the time that in 2012, I was running in 80 plus countries, and we saw the numbers are growing to reach $400 billion in 2014. As a matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago in Barcelona here, during the Mobile World Congress, my solution has received the best solutions for enterprise by GSMA. So it was quite an honor. It was competing against like Salesforce.com, BlackBerry, so it was quite of achievements. And 3 things I learned by doing these solutions in the city. Simplification matters. Visualizations, I call it smart visualizations. And something about the lifestyle of the user. So you know what? I learned that. I wanted to bring it to this my startup. Focusing on clients, their lifestyle. And what channel? Omni-channel? No. I said mobile is the only channel that will be really relevant for the users in the next generations. And I want to do the fundamental differences on the mobile channel and start from there. But there are additional dimensions that mobile is giving that other channels has not given to us, which is emotions and social. What am I really saying is that when I looked at the spending habits of the user, a lot of decisions, scientifically they say more than 75% of the spending is an emotional decisions. You're not going and choosing a restaurant to say that, you know what, I look at the calorie of this restaurant's menu, and you know what, I had the Greek yesterday, and I had the Spanish dish yesterday. Today, I will feel like, we gotta go with the Korean. There's no logical decision matrices to come to which food that you wanna eat. It's primarily emotional decisions. And banks are currently not capturing why they are making that decision. So second, social. You know what that means? Is that most of the decisions that I go through, it's not just for benefiting me. It's actually for the benefit of my wife, my kids, my friends, my colleagues, and so on and so forth. As a matter of fact, I looked at my spending, and more than 90% of them is actually driven by my wife. Because she even buys all the clothing and everything that I do. So my credit card is being spent, and it was not for me. But the banks are currently failing to show that because they are only care about transactions and transaction information. But what users are telling about the transaction is their willingnesses to transform their life. So my quest was that how would I be able to capture that and put it into banking? Because that will be the key for making banking experiences very joyful. And when I looked at it, I saw there's a very important new business model that we can do in banking. Currently, banks are very focused on transactional data. It's about which store that you spent, when you spent it, and how much you spent it. Contextual data means who was a beneficiary, who were you with at that particular transactions. And was this really helpful? Did you enjoy that particular spending? Did you like it? Did you post it on the Facebook? Did you actually share with your friends? Do you still enjoy that particular transaction or not? Those contextual data is very important that currently banking is not capturing. Because when you put these two together, and this is basically our own theory, we can capture the emotions and social part of those transactions, and we built a brand new algorithm. It's called social spending behavior algorithm, basically understanding how you are spending, how we can actually understand the user's behavior better by using that algorithm, and on top of that, how we can predict your future spending based on this social relationship that you have, which is going to give us a brand new revenue sources for banking, which is advertising. Why only Google is making the advertising as their revenue? Their theory is based on the keyword search. Keyword means your desirability, but they're not capturing who you are searching for. Bank has actually data that how much you actually spent. And if you can actually capture who was this for, this could be even stronger the opportunity to capture the revenue than Google. And that's what I want to make. So what we are offering is that we are offering banks to make this mobile banking to your customers a new way to bank. And our theme is connecting money with memories. So here, let me switch to the demo. So as you can see, our mobile banking example doesn't look like banking at all, because it started fundamentally from more like a social interfaces. We actually took a lot of learning from looking at Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Hotel Tonight, any kind of apps that people people likes and love. That's what we actually took the cue from. So you see the traditional menu. Let's start from accounts. When you go into accounts, you can see all different accounts that you're currently banking with particular institutions. And when you go into that particular account, this is what your statement look like. Of course, there's a transactions, but what you see is not just a transaction information. What you see is image that we actually default match to that particular transaction by using the key information that we get from the banks. So when you go into the particular transaction data, this doesn't look like a banking detail, does it? It actually comes with the pictures and representation of the different data. The area that you can, I'm sorry, I got my Korean keyboards in here. The information that you can actually type in to be able to, for us to be able to index it, and then you can use it for search later. Now, this one is brand new. Business travel, that sounds like a regular utility categorization you can get. But what we did is actually we pulled the social beneficiary information, we call it as a circle. So by importing Facebook friends and families, you can attach that this was actually for my wife. Because later on, when you get to the circle spending, you can see how much money that you're spending for your wife. And this will make you very happy, because you could definitely tell your wife that I'm spending more than $1,000 every month for you, right? But this is what does this give you? It's intelligence of your social spending behavior. It's basically telling you that how much money that you're investing to that particular relationship, because money talks. And this is what we want to capture. Now, by doing so, what we did is like we put all the data into different segmentations. We almost like put the big data into the client experience tiers to be able to really understand and analyze the spending behavior. By doing so, we learned a few tricks. We can organize spendings in different ways. First attempt was a calendar. Sometimes you wonder, oh man, where did I go a couple weeks ago? There was a mall. I don't know which credit card that I used. So we said, well, why don't you just put it into calendar? Oh yeah, all the pictures that are coming is from Facebook. Oh, this is the picture that I loaded on the particular day. Okay, let's go and take a look. Yes, this is the place that I went to in the particular day. I remember it because this is the picture of the mall that I went to. So across different accounts, it doesn't really matter. You can remember by date and you can come and take a look at your transactions. And also other things that we did, we actually just make a Groupon-like interfaces for the offers that banks are really doing, so they can really understand what are the more details and you can easily claim. And then we said, you know what, wouldn't it be nice to actually organize a transaction by stores? Yeah, of course, because let's say, oh, you know what, I go to Chipotle a lot. I actually spend every single week with my kids. And I want to understand how much money that I'm spending in the particular store. They could come in and you can take a look. You can see the picture of my son. Of course, he's not my son there, but you can picture of your family and say, hey, that's right, this is where I spend. But this is the key for advertising. We are creating a dedicated spaces for the store from the banking applications, and we're utilizing these spaces to actually tell the Chipotle that would you be interested in advertising in the mobile banking, because not only that I could tell you who are the customers who are spending in the particular locations, but I can exactly tell you how much he's spending, how frequently you're spending, so that I can guarantee that he can come back and spend once again. Repeated patterns, repeated customers, pulling the customer loyalty into banking. This is what we are trying to do. Finally, I said, everybody knows how to do Google search. Wouldn't it be nice that you can actually go do the Google search against your transaction history? So we simply did that. Just typing anything that you want, regardless of whether it's a product description, amount, date, it doesn't really matter. Anything that you can remember, and then all the transaction history that matches that particular category comes up. And you can say, oh yeah, that's right. I don't remember this particular store name, but you know what? It was chicken, something chicken. So I found it, and I can get to the particular transactions right away. And we created action where for you to be able to go and actually even do the pay and transfer by just typing pay something, and you can get to the pay transfer right away. Okay, you can, if you want to see more demo, you can come back to our booth later on. So let me just play one video that summarize the entire experiences for you.
Life. It's filled with everyday spending. How we see the value of our spending is as important as the spending itself. With Namu, you can see your experiences. Because your spending is more than a number. It's about remembering your spending, your value, and your life. With Namu, it's about more than your statement. It's your story. Namu, the new standard in banking.
Thank you. So, in final words, let me just tell you, I'm trying to control everything on my phone. Okay. So, how to work with us? Number one, we got different ways to contact with us. Just drop a business card. We'll follow up with the email. You can just come to our booth. We got a little booth on the next door. Or to come and visit us on namuapp.com. You can register yourself, and we'll follow up with the information that we can do. Second, we are ready for proof of concept. All these things that we showed you already is actually ready for working with any banking institution, so that we can actually go ahead with the proof of concept. Third, definitely we are ready for a successful rollout. My partners and I, we got tons of experience in banking. We were the one who is implementing these solutions in banks. We know how complex they are. We can make it easier for you. So, That's it. Any questions?